I accidentally clicked it and then it like left and then I was like, oh God, I'm by myself.
Girl, how'd it work? We're the only ones here now.
I know. I'm like, bonjour everybody.
I guess this is the main. Wait, we're in the main group, so it's like, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it.
We're in the
Well, I guess we just continue here then.
Oh, bonjour.
We
We
accidentally
actually came back.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in your group. Somehow I'm in your group, but you guys are laughing, so that's good.
You want to be on?
Oh, I'll just be in your group. Okay, so so basically you have an assignment that's coming due. It's the petit projet to make a brochure. Do you remember it? I showed it to you last week. Okay, so that should look like this. And so in your group, are there just 3 of you in the group? So in your group, pick the person who's going to be the let me find that example. So you pick the person who's going to be the secretary to put it all together. You're probably not seeing it because the screen isn't sharing. And you guys are going to send your information to the secretary who's going to collate it, put it all together. So you don't, and this is just a first draft, so it's okay if there's errors. That's why I'm going to look at it. This one is obviously a polished one. And you want to put at least 3 things. You can go beyond 3 things. Let's say you're not really a beginning French student. You can put more if you want. Do you have any questions about that? Okay, so that is due on Wednesday, and I'm going to leave your group.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Okay, it's something went wrong. My whole internet went out. Did that happen to you guys at all? No.
No, we just accidentally left the breakout group.
Yeah, we're not even in the breakout group anymore.
You're not even in the breakout group? You're not in.
We left.
Right.
We thought we were coming back.
Oh, so something did happen. Yeah, something happened where, and now I can't seem to leave. Something happened where my internet went down completely.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I was having a little.
That happened to me in another class, and I had to restart everything.
Yeah, so I had to restart everything, and that's probably it affected you in some way. So yeah, what do you guys think about all coming back to class in person?
I love that idea.
It's a big enough room. The other thing that I lost was the chat. So I have your attendance. That's fine. But okay, here we go. Are we all coming back? Yeah. Okay, so guys, my internet went completely out for a second, and then I had to log back in. And so I didn't get to talk to each group. Everybody can hear me, right? Yeah, okay. So I didn't get to go to visit each group. Something happened in Nichols land where my internet on my office computer wouldn't work. So I know that some of you might have gotten reshuffled, or your internet might have gone out, or it might not have, and it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have partners to do the brochure. Does anybody not have a partner? Oh, good. Okay, so that's what matters, that you have partners to do the brochure. We'll go back over the brochure on Wednesday. The other thing that got lost was the chat when my internet went down. So I have your attendance. I know who's here. But if you have questions, then please put that in the chat. And the questions or the comments should be about this topic. We're going to teach in person on Wednesdays and Fridays because I think the class is small enough that it doesn't pose any social distancing problems, and we'll all be so much happier in room 250 in person. But you might not be. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. So if you have a preference to not do that, please put that in the chat private or send me an email about that. Okay, so if you have your groups, then that's good. Your petit projet is this guy. It's number 1, the brochure. It's not the 19th of August. So even if you don't have your groups, we'll figure it out on Wednesday. And there was one other thing I wanted to go over today, because the book doesn't give us this, which is kind of important. Does everybody see the alphabet? Okay, so now also, guess what? as you know, every single last thing you ever wanted is on the internet. So if you are like, wait, she went over the alphabet way too fast, you can find about 30 million songs on the internet to teach you the alphabet en français. Donc, écoutez. Alors, A, arbre. B, ballon. C, chien. D, dinosaure. E, éléphant. Donc, remarquez, E, accent aigu. E, accent aigu, éléphant. F, fleur. G, giraffe. So this is hard for English speakers, that this is a G. G, 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 G. G, giraffe. Hippopotame, H, hippopotame. I, igloo. J, jumelle. K, kangaroo. L, lampe. There's almost no K's in French. Notice kangaroo, they come from Australia. It's a word from indigenous language in Australia. There are very few K's in French. L, lampe. M, montre. N, nuage. O, ordinateur. P, papillon. Q, quatre. R, raison. S, sac. T, tomate. U, usine. V, vache. W, wagon, another letter that barely exists in French. There's, wagon is a Germanic word, so very few W's in French. X, xylophone. Y, so this is your E, and this is your Y. It's a Greek I. You might not believe me, but I, J, and Y are all the same letters, and I'll give you an example. My husband's name is John. Okay, so we're a Germanic language group in English. So like in German, it's Johannes spelled with a J. If you take my husband's name and you put it in Latin, it's going to be spelled with an I, Janus, I-A-O-N-N-I-S. And if you put it in Hebrew, it's spelled with a Y, Johanna. So basically, Y's, J's, and E's are all related. And so listen to them. E, igloo, J, jumelle. They rhyme. E, J, Y. So this is a Greek I. Y, yacht. Z, zebra. So here's a different accent. It's the accent grave. So, je ne comprends pas is something that we just heard in the introduction. I don't understand. We're going to listen to a little song that has je ne comprends pas in it. Another thing you can say to say, like, I don't understand, I don't follow, what are you saying? What does this mean? Is comment dit-on? Comment dit-on dog en français? Le chien. Comment ça s'écrit? Ça s'écrit chien. C-H-I-E-N. So in French, the article le is part of the word. So the article is masculine and feminine. We're going to learn about this in chapter 1. Le chien is, there's no chien without the le chien. Unless you're saying something like, comment ça s'écrit? Ça s'écrit chien. Then you don't say ça s'écrit le chien. You say H-I-E-N. Comment dit-on zebra en français? Le zèbre. Comment ça s'écrit? Ça s'écrit Z-E, accent grave, B-R-E. Z-E, accent grave, B-R-E. Okay? The accents. So you might want to take a note on this. Remind yourself to look it up later, because in English we don't have accents. We have like very few diacritical marks. And I think that they're weird and strange when they're used. Like when you see resume, you know, there's 2 accent aigus on there, but you could also just have one on the resume at the end. So English just really doesn't have accents and diacriticals the way French does and the way many languages do. Sometimes there's the tréma though. The tréma are those 2 dots, tréma. So the tréma est sur le E, I, et U. The maïs, does anybody know what maïs is in English? Comment dit-on maïs? Le maïs en anglais c'est corn. Corn. Il y a l'accent grave. So for some reason when I learned French, I learned that accent grave points to the grave. I don't know why the accent aigu doesn't point to the grave, but the accent grave points to the grave. Help me remember it. Okay, la bière. B-I-E, accent grave, R-E. La bière. Comment dit-on la bière en anglais?
It's beer.
College students who should know this. Comment dit-on la bière?
Beer.
Oh, so shy. The PBR, guys, the Heineken. La bière. Alors, accent aigu. Sur E, l'école. À l'école. E, accent aigu, C-O-L-E, l'école. Comment dit-on école en anglais? Comment dit-on école?
It's school.
Did I hear it? School. Oui, school. OK, on a circonflexe. Le circonflexe, c'est un petit chapeau. Circonflexe. Sur le A, I, O, U, et E, la fête. So here's what I love about a circumflex. It means that in English, you can figure out what the word is because there used to be an S there. So la fête, let's put an S there. After the circumflex, there could be an S. Does that word fest mean anything to you? Or there's a Spanish word that's very similar.
It's party.
Say it again.
Party.
Party, exactly. So what's the English equivalent of fête with an S? Fest, there's a word we use.
Festival.
Festival, exactement, fête. So anytime there's the accent circonflexe, there was an S, and I'll give you many examples of that. Et c'est se dire, le c'est dire, so su le c'est. Par exemple, garçon, G-A-R-C, c'est dire, O-N, c'est se dire. So the c'est se dire, it's like you're drawing a 5, but the top of the 5 is hooked into the C. C'est se dire. Okay, I am going to ask you guys a different question than it's comment ça s'écrit? Comment dit-on French en français? On dit le français. Comment ça s'écrit? Comment ça s'écrit le français? Let me ask a specific person. Lane, whose name I'm going to get right. Lane, what's the first letter of français?
F.
Très bien, F. Très bien. F, donc comment ça s'écrit? F. Et quelle est la deuxième lettre? Lane, I'm gonna leave Lane alone. You got that F. How about Morgan?
What'd you say?
Français, comment ça s'écrit? F,
Oh,
F, R, R. Okay. How about Emma? F, R. Wait, is Emma here?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so. Emma, bring us home with the whole word français. F, R, you can do it.
What? Okay. What do you want? What is the question? You want me to find what the? I don't know what's happening. So
Okay.
what do you want me to do?
I want you to, if this is F and this is R, what's the next letter in French?
A.
Est-ce que c'est A vraiment? Parce que ce n'est pas A, parce qu'il n'y a pas une lettre qui s'appelle A en français. Alors, par exemple, il n'y a pas de A en français. A n'existe pas en français. On a A, B, C, D. There's no A in French.
So it's A.
Ah, très bien. Emma, after that A, quelle est la lettre qui écrit français?
I don't know. How would you pronounce that?
F-R-A, anybody?
It's N.
N, And here's the challenging one. Let me remind you. F-R-A-N,
CCD.
C-C-D. Très bien. Okay. F-A-R-N, C-C-D. Et quelle est la lettre ici?
A.
A. Très bien. Et la lettre ici?
E.
I. Ouais. Et finalement, il y a le... Oops, pardon. What's the last letter?
S.
S. Alors, Comment dit-on French en français? Le français. Comment ça s'écrit? F-R-A-N-C, c'est dire A-I-S. And there probably is a whiteboard that I could use and figure out. So we'll see about that later. Although I'm optimistic that we will not be Zooming for long. Okay. Comment tu t'appelles? Comment t'appelles-tu? So notice that these are the same thing. These are the exact same word. Oh, we're out of time. Okay. We'll get back to comment tu t'appelles et comment t'appelles-tu and comment ça s'écrit. So on Wednesday, everybody can come to class. It doesn't matter if you're a Maringouin or a Ville Plate. And send me an email or put it in the chat privately to explain why that arrangement doesn't work for you. But I'm very confident that the room is big enough to have 6 feet of social distance. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Before I stop the meeting, so what you should be doing now in this class is going to the Français Interactive digital site. You should be listening to the vocabulary, you should be learning the vocabulary, and then you should be starting to do the grammar or the listening exercises. So I just want to remind you where the grammar and the listening exercises are. And if you know what I'm talking about, then don't worry about it and you are free to leave the meeting. Okay, so 1 second. So when I say the listening and the grammar, the listening is this. This is also listening. You should be doing this. And at some point, I'm going to say we're going to do this in class. And you should be doing this. And when you do this, you need to take screenshots of the exercises once you've finished. And so you should read it. You should fill it out, you should check your answers, and then you should take screenshots. And if that's not clear to you, then I will go back over it on Wednesday. I'll ask, because I think it'll be better to explain that and show you in person.
I can't see the screen.
Oh, you can't see the screen. Dratted Zoom. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. So back to the beginning. This is your chapter, your book. Okay, so when I say you should be learning the vocabulary, you should be studying this. You should also be listening to it. And the way you're going to listen to it is you should be clicking on this and listening to the vocabulary. The other listening is the vocabulaire en contexte. You can click on the PDF and do it because I will be looking to see if you did this at some point, not right now, but it is coming up. And then there's the grammar. So you should be doing this. I'm not going to assign it to you one by one. It's up to you to be disciplined and to do it. And every time you do it, you should fill it out, check your answers, and take a screenshot of it and save the screenshot. So that's why there was that first upload your screenshot. It's because for all 7 and the test, by the end of the chapter, I want to see that you've completed all of that. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so if you don't know how to do the screenshot, I'll show you in person. And that's that. So if there's no questions, I'm gonna go look on chat and you are free to leave the meeting. And if you do have a question, feel free to ask it. Beer school festival. Okay. So we are working on the brochure privately between now and Wednesday. Well, in your group, is Cameron here? Yeah, Cameron. So did you, I know the internet went out, and did you have a group?
Okay, yeah, I did have a group. Mm-hmm.
And so you didn't determine who would be the secretary or I think I didn't go to your group. No, I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
We didn't, but I have both of their numbers, so we can talk about that.
right, text them and say
Right.
who's going to do the collating. It's like,
Okay.
and then they should just send you the information. Je m'appelle, je suis de, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So choose who's going to do the, and then it's never fair in group work. So usually the person who's
Okay.
the secretary does more work.
Wait,
That's
so
the
no
way it
good.
is.
All right. Thank
all
you.
the same thing?
Katie, say it again.
If like, is everybody in the group turning in the
No, just the secretary is going to do the brochure.
same?
But you're going to send the information to them. You're going to send a little picture, and you're going to send the my name is, I'm from, I study, or you can mix it up. Don't be scared.
So we don't have to turn in anything like on Moodle if we're not. the
Your secretary will, but it'll be clear to me who's in the group and how you to grade you because the names are going to be in there. Okay?
Gotcha.
Makes sense. Any other questions? Let's see. You can unmute yourself and ask me. Yes, you can leave if you have no questions. Chancey, you want to stay and just I'll wait for everybody.